Hey, what's up everyone? Scotty Combat here, and it looks like they finally updated Mortal Kombat 4. I swear it's like each time they drop something Mortal Kombat related on their X account, it's something positive. And this is the case. We have upscaling for Mortal Kombat 4. I was pretty worried when we first saw the trailer. I went over it a couple times with you guys. Anytime we saw a Legacy Collection trailer, this is what Mortal Kombat 4 looked like. And I gotta say, as I'm sure as many other people were too, it was concerning. It didn't look clean, it looked very gritty, choppy. But check this out, this is Mortal Kombat 4 in its original arcade state on Legacy Collection, but you can render upscale by 2 times, which makes it look like this. Or you can even go a step further and go by 4 times and it looks like this, which is a hell of a difference. In fact, I would say this kind of looks more like gold. Maybe it is the next one here that looks more like gold. I want to do a comparison here because right now I'm just doing like an initial reaction off of it, looking at it up close for the first time. Now I want to point your attention to the menu. If you haven't looked at this already, is there something that sticks out to you that you notice yet while I'm talking? 1, 2, 3. Obviously you see the updated scaling, right? And maybe you've already seen this in another video, but it's pretty nice that right off the bat you can play as me. I do have some curiosity here towards the top where it says violence on, blood on. Like, I get we can turn the blood on and off, but what's the difference with the violence? Yes, I would like the violence on in my Mortal Kombat. I don't know why I would turn that off. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of it. By the way, when my head is turned this way, this is my way of looking at my computer screen. I'm not looking away or looking at a script, that's just where my computer's at. I would say as far as the menu, the rest of it looks pretty standard. You know, unlimited round timer, unlimited fatality time.
That's not bad, that's something different.
For those that don't know, in the classic Mortal Kombat games, it's not as forgiving as far as timing for a fatality. It goes by pretty quick. I forget how to traditionally use an alt skin in Mortal Kombat 4. I know you have to hold up and start on gold, which isn't hard at all really, so I'm not sure why this is in the options. Maybe it was harder to do in MK4. Definitely enlighten me in the comments. It has been a while since I've played 4. Now, looking at people's comments based off this post, I thought this one was pretty funny. Someone said their reaction to this be like, it just looks so pleasant the way he's throwing the stars. I love it. I really don't know who's going to be playing with this mode turned on. That is the standard. This isn't 2x, this isn't 4x. Keep in mind this was never a TV setting for like a CRT. This was actually just arcade. And I'm humbly asking you guys, do you think this looks more like Zeus or MAME? Zeus being the original arcade hardware, and MAME being the emulation that most of us are used to seeing online. Personally speaking, I want to say the arcade looked something like this, and I think Digital Eclipse bumped it with this. I don't know if it actually looked this good. It's pretty damn clean. I think that might be more clean than gold, but let's take a look. In most cases, when you look for Mortal Kombat 4 on YouTube, you're going to run across the MAME version, which is the version that's a little more pixelated. It's definitely noticeable. Felt like this would be an interesting comparison. I do have a different version of Mortal Kombat 4 pulled up here. I think this looks pretty clean. I want to know what version you think it is. Now, what you're seeing here is actually the Mortal Kombat Gold version, which I think the rendering looks pretty close to. Okay, so I'm going to show you Raiden, and then I'm going to show you the upscaled version of Raiden that they showed us on the website again. So right here, let me go ahead and show you Raiden, and then I'm going to show you the picture that I've been showing you over and over of Raiden. It is a little more difficult without actually having video footage. They're just showing us a few pictures. I'm going to be honest, I thought the direct comparison side by side was going to be a lot closer than what it looks like right now. Genuinely, I thought they would have been a little bit more closer, but I think there's a big difference in how dark gold looks compared to Mortal Kombat 4 that is upscaled through Digital Eclipse and the 4x rendering. Whoa, 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 huge difference. Actually, this is really exciting because I know Mortal Kombat 4 looks good on the Zeus hardware, right? Did it actually look this good though? It's been a while, genuinely. And if so, it's always looked better than gold by a long shot if this is the exact replica. Now, I don't think it is. I think Digital Eclipse did this themselves and pulled it up to this quality. Now, even if this is still pretty close in shot, it still looks a hell of a lot better. Don't get me wrong, I still like the quality of Mortal Kombat Gold. Whenever I compare Gold to Mortal Kombat 4, N64, or PS1, I always pick Gold. I know it still looks a little darker, but it does look more smoothed out, but in this case, Mortal Kombat 4, whether it be arcade or Digital Eclipse's adaptation, looks more smooth and it looks more bright. It just looks all around better. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be that noticeable. Now, this is actual Mortal Kombat 4 footage with the Zeus hardware. Yes, there is flickering because of the CRT, but just to make sure we're actually seeing original Mortal Kombat 4 footage at its arcade potential, I wanted to use this for comparison's sake, even though I know it is kind of hard with the flickering. It still gives us an idea at least on how choppy or how gritty it looks. I know the wave lines flashing up and down the screen do make it a little difficult, but looking at the character polygons for what you can make out, I do want to make the comparison here. I do think it still looks pretty decent. I'm just wondering how this is going to compare to Digital Eclipse's upscaling once it gets here. I think it looks decent though, you know, the arcade on its own. What we're seeing here looks hell of a lot better than what we would get on the home ports. I want to make another direct comparison again. So we do have Mortal Kombat 4 here on the cabinet, and then we have Mortal Kombat Gold here on the Dreamcast, and I have Raiden pulled up on both of them. I mean, either way, and it's been shared elsewhere, usually Mortal Kombat 4 on the arcade has always been brighter. I do still see people debating the graphics between Gold and 4. I'm just really happy either way with what we're getting with Digital Eclipse, is that it looks really good. Either it's going to look just as good as what's on the actual MK4 cabinet, or it might look better. Now, as I look back and forth, this is how I feel now. This is Gold on the right still, but let's go ahead and use the new Digital Eclipse image that we do have of Raiden. And I do feel that Gold is probably better in image as rounding out the graphics. That is, you know, it doesn't look as jagged. Whereas the plus side with the new graphics is it's bright. And it does look cleaned up too. I think it does look a little better than the original Zeus hardware, but then again, it's kind of hard to tell with what's available out there. You know, if you have a Zeus cabinet at home, that's great, like an actual Mortal Kombat 4 cabinet. I really don't want to make the comparison to MAME. I would say MAME is closer to PS1 and N64, and that's where you can really tell it's kind of chippy. It looks a little grainy. It actually looks like the very original gameplay footage we saw from Digital Eclipse on MK4 before the upscaling. That actually does have that home console look to it. So just for more referencing, keep in mind all of these are Mortal Kombat 4 except for this one. This one is Mortal Kombat Gold because it is Dreamcast. So for comparison's sake, let's check it out. Yeah, PlayStation has the least impressive visual for me. PC does have it pretty bright, I like that. I'd say N64 and Gold are pretty close. And just for fun, I'm throwing that new picture in here. We're going to do the regular photo, now upscaled by 2, and then upscaled by 4. I would say there's definitely a big difference here. It really shows here in Mortal Kombat Gold how dark it is to the rest of them. So I do feel like we're getting the best of both worlds with Digital Eclipse's upscaling. That is, it looks like it's going to be brighter, and it looks like it's going to be cleaned up as well. It looks really good. It is pretty interesting to see the sacrifices and benefits they make between the consoles. That is the ones back in the day. Now, as I shared in yesterday's video regarding Legacy Kollection Volume 2, if we get the 3D era, that is going to be PS2 emulations, which does seem possible. I'm actually all in favor for seeing upscaled filters because that just enhances the quality of life for the games, and it's not significant enough to where it actually does like a remaster of the game, right? It doesn't hurt if they give us upscaled filters for any of the games in this pack. I feel like it might just be Mortal Kombat 4, but it'd be really nice if we got them for the other games too, especially Trilogy. Now, if you're a regular around here, I'm sure you're used to me making comparison videos, but if you're new and you want to check out some of my other ones, I'll throw a playlist up here. A lot of these are to do with Legacy Kollection and making the comparison to the older adaptations. And guys, that's really all for this one. I wanted to share that it's awesome we can upscale Mortal Kombat 4, and I think it makes hell of a difference. If you didn't see yesterday's video where I covered the 3D era being a possibility for Legacy Kollection 2, definitely be sure to check that out. And guys, I will be live tonight if you want to play the classic Mortal Kombat games with me, or if you just want to watch and hang out, chime in here or on Twitch. And that's all for this one, my friends. Please do like to support the video, and I will see you all live and or in the next video. Much love, everyone, and take care.